Okay, so welcome to The Buzz with Bernadette. Today we are thrilled to have with us Barbara Kendell, who is an iconic Australian with an impressive and successful career in health, television, the beauty industry, including, now get ready for this list, it's long, an Australian representative for the Miss International Beauty Pageant in Japan, an original TV gladiator called Rebel, IFBB Ms. Australia for her physique, Master Practitioner of Neuro-Linguistic Programming, Master Fitness Trainer and Body Mind Results Coach, Performance Coach, Master Hypnosis Professional Speaker, Model and Compare. Barbara, it's fantastic to have you here with us. I've been excited
thanks,
to chat.
V. Oh, I'm so excited to see you too and talk to you. It's been ages.
Yes, I know it has. I've been excited to chat with you. So I've come up with a list of questions so we can learn more about you. What makes you tick, what drives you at almost 60, if I can say that, to stay motivated and keep shining your light. So are you okay if we do like quite a quick, rapid fire question type situation just to get to know a little bit more about you?
Love to.
Okay.
Looking forward. Let's go.
Excellent. Let's go. Firstly, where were you born? Were you born in Australia?
Actually, I do consider myself Australian, but I was actually born in England, B.
Oh, wow.
I'm English. I've got a very, I had a very German mother and I had a very English father. So I came over here when I was one by ship.
Right. Excellent. And were you athletic as a child? And if you were, what sort of sports did you play?
Yeah, I was heavily involved in little athletics, and also I did calisthenics. I can never say that word properly.
Calisthenics.
Netball. What else?
Wow.
Gosh, what other things? Swimming. I was big at as well. Yeah, pretty much those four things were my main ones.
Right. Okay. So my favorite, I love animals. Did you have a childhood pet?
I did, bless her. I had a little cocker spaniel called Tessa, and she was famous in our neighbourhood, B, because she had buried a hole under our fence and got out on the road and got knocked over, and we had to remove one leg. So as she grew up, she was known as the three-legged cocker spaniel in the neighbourhood, and she had one at the front, two at the back. And I used to do things like hold up a hula hoop, and she used to go flying out, through it with her ears flying out to the side. She was gorgeous.
That is beautiful. And do you have an icon that you've looked up to in your life?
Yeah, and still the same one. I absolutely adore Elle Macpherson. Guess what? It's her birthday, I think, tomorrow. I've got it in my diary, and she is exactly something like 10 weeks older than I am.
Really?
So she's been my icon, because we're exactly the same age, born 1964, Year of the Dragon, and she's very much about beauty through wellness, and that's what I see beauty as well. It's all about wellness. It's not necessarily the aesthetics of your face.
It's not the externals, it's the internals as well.
Yeah. So I've really looked up to her, and she's really maintained her physique, and she's just such a beautiful person, Yeah.
She is actually one of my favorites. She's probably my favorite model, and she's beautiful inside and out. And she was also one of the first models to ever have a successful brand and label, which I really admire about her as well.
Same, and she was here in Australia just recently.
I know. I wish one day I could meet her. She's stunning.
Yeah. Same.
Now, what age were you when you were in the Miss International in Japan, and how many countries entered in that beauty pageant?
It's funny they call it a beauty pageant, but really it had nothing to do with beauty at all. It was more about friendships around the world. There were 47 countries that entered, and I think I was around about 21. Yeah, we toured all together in a big bus to several of the different cities. I had to wear, swimsuit, ball gown, and then national costume, which was
Wow.
an Akubra hat with corks, and came out holding the koala bear.
How gorgeous. And so
Yeah.
you did beauty pageants, as they were called back then. And then so how did you then get to compete in bodybuilding?
Bodybuilding came after, because I started doing modeling, and
Hmm.
I remember one particular job I went for, which was modeling the Jeans West jeans,
Yeah.
and my backside didn't fill out into the jeans. So
Oh,
I found out through somebody else that you could change the shape of your body through weight training, and I was fascinated with that. So I went, okay, right, I'm going to go to the gym and see if I can sort of create some shape into my body so I can get more modeling jobs. That's how it started.
wow, that is amazing. Yeah, good old Jeans West commercials. You would have been, and I've seen your beautiful younger photos, and you're simply stunning as you are today. But oh, just such a gorgeous model. How long did you model for, actually?
Oh, Joss, that's a really good question. Probably right up until I was about 30.
Yeah,
Yeah,
good. And back in those
yeah,
days, 30
yeah,
would have
I
been
know.
considered, oh, we're not like
Oh,
we are today where we're all inclusive, etc. Like
exactly.
26 was actually old for modeling back then. So
Yeah,
you did
yeah,
really well.
yeah.
So obviously you were in the original show of the gladiators. What was your
Yeah.
greatest memory of being a gladiator?
Definitely being, I don't know if I'd call myself a role model to the children, but just being involved with so many kids. I mean, we had 2 million watch us every Saturday night, and then we performed in front of about 26,000 a day live. So we did 2 shows a day, about 10,000 in the morning, 10,000 in the afternoon. And so just seeing that many excitable kids wanting your autograph, reading all their fan mail when I got home, sacks and sacks of it. I still got it all today. It's absolutely amazing. All the little things that they made me and the love cards they wrote me. It's hilarious. Yeah. So just the whole show to me was about the kids. Yeah.
That is so good. And of course, we didn't have social media back then. It would have been so fantastic if we did. I think now people have got those amazing platforms to leverage, a greater career from. So I was going to say, like, you probably would have got all your fan mail. It would have been
Sure.
more traditional, fan mail back then, wouldn't it?
Definitely. I mean, there's pros and cons, of course. You look at some of the like married at first sight people and how
Mm.
much they're being attacked on social media and stuff like that. And I think, would I have wanted social media back then, or am I happy I just escaped that?
I
Yeah,
I
yeah.
agree,
So
actually.
there's fors and against. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Now you're going to have to explain to me what is neuro-linguistic programming, because it's not a term I hear every day. So yeah, if you can explain to us what that's all about.
It's a rapid form of self-development, so it can help you get rid of limiting beliefs, fears, phobias, improving workplace performance, improving your own happiness. So many things. It's amazing. It really did help change my life. It's made me more in tune with my own thoughts. It doesn't mean that I'm super positive all the time and all of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have negative thoughts too, but then I'll think, oh, that's a negative thought, or oh, that's an assumption. And then I'll rewire that into a more positive light. Yeah, so
Right.
that's what it is. It's just amazing. Everyone should do it in school, I think.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I agree. So is it about like, recognizing negative thoughts, changing the patterns of the way you think so that you become stronger?
Yeah, rewiring your thoughts to the positive. It helps to change your behaviors, those sorts of things. Yeah, there's
Yeah.
thousands of modalities within NLP. Yep.
Wow. That's in
Yeah,
very intriguing.
it
So
is.
what are your three highest values as you've gotten older in life?
Yeah, definitely no particular order, but health, that's probably no
Mm,
surprise there.
yes.
Health, freedom, human connection would be another one. I love connecting with people. So, yeah, they would definitely be my three. Everything that I do, every decision I make in everyday life is driven from those three values.
Isn't it interesting? When I was younger, I wasn't really, I don't think I looked at those sorts of things or valued those sorts of things. As I've gotten older, human connection has been one of the most important things in my life. And it's just so either I've grown as a person or you just come to appreciate different things as you get older.
You definitely do. And your values do change as you go throughout life. So you do need to re-evaluate them, revisit them, realign them again. But two that have always, well, one that's definitely always been very up there has been my health. Freedom definitely has become more important as I've become older, and definitely human connection as well. And that's probably because I've never been engaged, I've never been married, I've never had any children. So still to this right age,
yeah,
you know, having that connection with other people, whereas other people would get that from their immediate families, wouldn't they?
yeah, I guess,
And
yeah,
from their kids and you know, so yeah, human connection is huge for me.
yeah, that's amazing. So what's as you've gone through life, what's the best piece of advice that you've gained from a mentor?
Let me think about that.
Yeah. And have you,
Definitely would
yeah,
say I've had a lot of mentors over my
yeah,
life. I think they're really good to have. They keep you on track. But
mm,
definitely, probably the most important thing that one said to me would be to stay in your lane, Barbs. Don't
oh,
worry about what other people are doing, what they're saying about you. Definitely when I was competing, with the physique, you know, a lot of people would like to sort of try and destabilize you by, you know, whispering, so and so looks really fantastic, and this and this and this, and blah 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 blah, and you could get really like, oh my god, you know,
rattled.
and you know,
Yeah.
or you know, nervy about you're
Yeah.
not going to win or whatever. But staying in your own lane, blocking out whatever anybody else is doing, and just focusing on yourself is definitely a very, very good piece of advice.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
a common thing that I always like bring up is, if you just compare yourself to yourself, like who you were yesterday or who you were last week, you will be fine. And
absolutely.
isn't it interesting, like when people are trying to rattle you, like you said, it's so much easier to attack the outside when there's a physical, but if you're secure on the inside, then
Mm-hmm.
you'll be a lot stronger for people like that. But interestingly enough, how do you get a mentor or how do you find mentors?
Oh, there's mentors everywhere. I
Do
mean,
you find it in a
generally,
friend or do you look at someone in
well,
business
you
and
you might find it in a friend, or you might find somebody with professional credentials and who might be at the top of the field in the field that you're looking to achieve. You know, something great.
yeah,
For me, I had a mentor and a coach when I was training who had also won a ton of titles and that sort of thing. So mentors are great because they can keep you on the straight and narrow, but they can also give you the shortcuts. Like right
yes,
now, I could give somebody the shortcuts on getting themselves in shape, or the shortcuts on making working in the kitchen so much easier, and meal prepping and those sorts of things.
yes,
Yeah, so I mean, there's so many
definitely.
shortcuts to take. So why go through the long route yourself of trying to figure everything out, right down to social media? I mean, I came and did a couple of lessons with you, didn't I,
Yeah,
B? Because you know
that's
more than
right.
I do. So you've
Yeah,
been a mentor for me as well. You showed me a couple of shortcuts. So,
yeah,
I mean, I've still got
exactly.
so much to learn there, but yeah,
Oh,
I
you're
think it's
doing
great to get
well.
a mentor. Yeah.
Yeah, that's excellent. So what do you believe is the greatest challenge that most athletes are facing today?
Definitely once they retire is how are they going to reinvent themselves? I follow Stephanie Rice on Instagram, and I found her story very well, I can relate to a lot of it, of what she's been through. So yeah, reinventing themselves would be my number one thing. It's something that I'm also going to have to do soon too, and I'll tell you why. Soon, maybe
Yeah.
at the end of these questions.
Yeah, for sure. And you see it with a lot of footy players as well, because especially those guys retire quite young, really. And if
Yep.
they don't have something in place, then there's really nowhere for them to go. Like if they don't have some kind of deal to, do a sports show or get some kind of ambassadorship somewhere, there's really nothing else for them to do.
Well, you
So,
tend to start to feel like you've lost your identity. So because you were known as that person,
mm,
I guess I'm lucky in a way because I've had several different industries along my career, but I still will need to reinvent myself for this next part, this next chapter, I'll call it, of my life.
yes,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, and we will get into that. So rank the top two priorities in your life right now.
Oh gosh, well, here we go. That's perfect timing. Perfect timing. I had a nasty accident a couple of years ago, and I am actually still in recovery from that. I've had a lot of damage and secondary injuries all the way down the left-hand side of my body. So as I'm talking to you right now, even though I've got a bright smiley face on, I am actually in pain, and I have been with chronic pain over the last, the first year and a half of the 2-year journey. So what am I focused on right now? What are my priorities? That is super easy. It is to prepare mentally and physically for this enormous challenge that I've got coming up, which is my third operation. It's going to be a nasty one because they're taking bone from my hip and they're shortening my forearm bones and they're putting an implant down the forearm bone. So it's going to take at least 6 months if I don't get chronic pain back again to recover. So there's a lot of things in preparation that I've got to do for that. Like right now, my mind is very focused on what can I do to make this next operation better than the first two? Because I'd never broken any bones before. I didn't know about chronic regional pain syndrome. I didn't know about all these challenges that I've had. So I bought myself a new mattress, one that helps with pressure points. I'm organising some food to be brought, home style cooking made out of natural ingredients to be delivered to my house because I'm not going to be able to cook. And prepare my food. And again, health is my highest value. So I just don't want to eat shit out of a packet, so to speak.
Yeah, absolutely.
My nutritional supplements will all need to be organized beforehand. What's going to help with inflammation? So and then also mentally preparing myself for it too. Am I feeling a little bit anxious about it? Yes. What am I going to do about that? I'm going to channel myself. I'm going to channel that anxiety into excitement. I'm excited about having this operation. You see, so that's a little bit of NLP for you there, just a tip.
Yes.
So, and then the other priority would also have to be recovering from the operation.
Oh,
Yeah,
gosh.
who am I going to
Yeah.
work with? Who's going to be my team? Who's going to be my hand therapist that I'm going to work with 3 times a week? Who's going to be my exercise physiologist? Who's going to be my chiropractor? Who's going to, blah, 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 blah. So,
Yeah.
yeah, they're the 2 main priorities, mentally and physically preparing myself for the operation, and then mentally and physically working on the recovery. So I get the best
Yeah.
outcome. I want to
Yeah,
get back
because
to 100% me.
and
It's already taken 2 years of my life,
I
Bernadette.
know.
2
I know you
years of my
will.
life.
I know you will get back.
Unbelievable.
And you're certainly going to face some struggles, but they always say that if you're prepared, you've taken out half of the, half the hard work. So you've got your food, because essentially you're going to only have the one hand to work with, really. And
One hand, one leg, honey. One
yeah.
hand, one leg.
Oh
They're operating on
gosh.
my hip as well. Yeah.
Oh
So,
gosh.
yeah. So,
That
how am I
is,
going to get out of bed? How am I going to get to the bathroom? Will I need a walking stick? Will I need a frame? So
yeah.
in life, I think as a coach, I've always tended to think ahead, think ahead, think ahead, always
Plan
prepare for the worst, but hope and pray for the best.
best.
But unfortunately, because I had no idea about breaking bones and had never experienced it, I wasn't prepared the first time round. And so this time I want smooth sailing. I don't want any chronic pain, all those sorts of things.
I think you will do really well. We're going to stay tuned. We're going to be watching you on Instagram.
I'm going to document the journey this time around.
I think you should. And
I hope to inspire other people. Again, I've always tried to inspire people through my journeys of life, and I've had many.
Absolutely.
And so I kind of feel like maybe this time around I can give out some pearls of wisdom about recovery and about how to prepare and those sorts of things.
Yeah, definitely.
It's going to be great.
Yeah, it will. I know. And that's the right attitude. You're excited because you're going to get it over and done with. And that's the excitement of it. And so I will pop your Instagram handle in the description of the podcast so people can watch your journey as well and see how inspiring you really are.
Well, that's kind of you. Thank you.
Yeah. What are you going to do exercise wise? Obviously, you're used to exercising and staying fit. What are you going to do exercise wise to help with your recovery?
Well, my weight training got ripped right out from under my feet for the past 2 years. I've only just started back at the gym, but that's working with an exercise physiologist. And then I've also started a gym membership just recently, like literally a couple of weeks ago, where I'm doing certain exercises that the exercise physiologist has given me to continue with, because there's so much I can't do anymore, which is a shame. But at the moment I'm doing a lot of hydrotherapy, which has been amazing. And I'm also using a kickboard in the outside pool. So just very gently laying on the board to support my fractured back. And what else am I doing? Those two things, basically hydrotherapy, swimming with a kickboard, and working with the exercise physiologist.
Wow. It sounds like you're on the right track. So when you wake up every morning, what are 3 things that you do to start your day right?
Oh, good question. Something that I've been doing for a long time. The very first thing I would do is I would use some coconut oil, and I would do something called oil pulling, which is swishing the coconut oil around in your mouth and through your teeth for about 10 minutes, and then spitting it out into into a tissue, into the waste paper basket. Number 1, that just gets rid of all the toxins and bacteria, because gut and brain are connected, and a lot of things start from the mouth and also from your gut. All disease starts from your gut. So if there's 2 things you should definitely work on in life, is keeping your mouth clean and also having your stomach analyzed once a year. So the other 2 things that I would do after that, after oil pulling, I would meditate. I'm right into using frequencies. They're amazing. And then after that, I would alkalize my system. I would either drink a glass of super greens, or I would do a squeeze of lemon in some warm water, and I drink it through a steel straw because I don't want to ruin my teeth. So there's 3 key things that I do religiously and have done for years on end.
Wow, just those 3 things have blown me away. I'm literally
really.
I've only just heard on TikTok about this coconut oil in the mouth, and also coconut oil all over the body as a moisturizer as well. And that was from a lady who was almost 70, and she had the skin of a 30-year-old. Like, amazing. So
beautiful.
Now you've concreted that information for me. I'm running out to buy coconut oil after this.
Great. Awesome.
But obviously, when you have like your little moments, what is your guilty pleasure that you enjoy?
Well, for me personally, I don't actually have any guilty pleasures, because a long time ago I realized that everything that we classify as bad food, even though I don't really believe in bad and good, I've managed to make it in a different form out of natural ingredients. So pizza, for example, I would make the base out of crushed up cauliflower, and then do all natural ingredients on the top. And then say like chocolate, for example, if I do feel like I want something sweet, I would make like a beautiful chocolate dessert out of say avocado with raw cacao, those sorts of things. So I don't personally have any guilty pleasures. I am so focused on giving nutrients to my body that will give me more bang for my buck. So there's no guilty pleasures for me.
That is fantastic. And just listening to that, I think you and Elle Macpherson would get along famously.
Oh, it's my right arm to have a sit down and have a chat with Elle. But anyway.
I know, right? But everything is relative. So if you're used to making those beautiful nutritional, you know, desserts, etc., treats, then they
there's
eventually,
no guilty pleasures.
Yeah, they eventually start tasting better for you anyway. So
well, they do, and it's the after effects as well.
Yeah,
it's the after effects.
Exactly.
You know, it's how it slows down the aging process. It helps you sleep better. It gives you better digestion. All the things in particular that I think middle-aged women go through.
Absolutely.
Are not noticeable.
Yeah, that's right. Well, we've got the 9-minute timer that's just come up. So I'm just going to rapid fire you some more questions. Do you prefer to cook or home delivery, or do you ever go out to eat?
What do you think? I'll give you a guess out of 1, 2, and 3.
I'm going to say you like to cook.
Yeah, because I just don't feel most of the time that I get a meal that's as good as I can make at home. I generally don't do a lot of cooking. I would love to. But I generally like to keep things very, very simple. So I more assemble food. I can cook and I love to cook, but I like everything easy. So I more assemble food.
Yeah, absolutely. That's good. Better for time management as well.
Correct.
What has been your greatest accomplishment to date?
Oh, easy. Being full-time carer to my terminally ill mum.
Oh,
yeah. Without a shadow of a doubt. If anyone really knew what I went through that 2-year period with my mum, you'd be surprised that I'm still standing. I'm getting up 7 times a night and walking with an oxygen bottle on my back attached to my mum literally every waking hour, so she could get from one chair to another, was hard yakka. It really, really was. And my mum actually didn't a lot of the time remember that I was even her daughter because of the amount of drugs that she was on. And anyway, I'll write a book one day, B. I'm going to write a book on that because I do believe I've got some pearls of wisdom there.
I do too, for anyone else that has to be the carer
thinking
for their
about
parent,
it.
like honestly.
And again, how to prepare for something like that. Again, it's all about learning from somebody who's been through those experiences, or from several people that have been through those experiences, and putting strategies into place so that you don't have to go through such a hard time as what I went through. Anyway, next question.
This is why I think you'll be strong enough to face what's coming up for you, because you've been through a lot. Tell us about one dream you have for your future.
Oh, that's an easy one. I dream every single day of owning a really nice motorhome, living light and free, being a minimalist. So a lot of the time at the moment in my spare time, I'm actually decluttering, giving away my belongings, taking stuff down to the salvos, that sort of thing. I just want to live light and free. I would love to experience, at least, I don't know for the rest of my life, but I would certainly like to experience maybe for a few years, traveling around Australia, going to visit all my friends, having that human connection, documenting my journeys, jumping into waterfalls, going through the forest.
Spending
I think
time
it'd be
in
amazing.
nature.
I have this theory that the less you own, the happier you are, but I'm sure it's not for everybody.
It's so true. Yeah, there are people out there and there's books out there, and yes, they state the same, and I believe it too. How would your friends describe you?
Gosh. Okay, one would hope that they would think I'm resilient, because my closest friends truly do know what I've been through. Hopefully they would also say that I'm a kind person. Kindness is a high value of mine as well, and resilient, kind, and
Yes, and knowledgeable.
Got some wisdom to pass out. Yeah, maybe
Very
wise. I think that would fall me.
And if your wardrobe could be only one color, what could it be?
I love cream.
So you're into
I know it's not really a color. I mean, I have bright color favorites. I do tend to wear a lot of green, a lot of dark blue. I love red for days I want to feel empowered.
Yes.
But I love cream. I think cream on my complexion looks really, really nice. And I think it really suits brunettes as well with brown eyes.
Well, it's a minimal tone to go with your new minimalistic lifestyle that you will get.
One of the 4 basics I would choose, definitely.
Yes. How would you spend your birthday if money was no object?
Well, my big 60th, as I said, is coming up in middle of June.
Yes.
Middle of June, yeah. 8 weeks or so behind Elle. So if money was no object, I would absolutely adore to grab a handful of my besties, including you, because I think you would be an absolute hoot to go travel with. And I would love to go to some type of retreat where everything was put on for us and we could eat really good food and swim in the pool and share stories and do some gentle exercise and that sort of thing. Get some sunshine, anything that makes you feel good. Do a pajama party maybe.
Oh, that would be so fantastic. And one more question, do you drink alcohol?
I don't. I gave up drinking a while ago because of the chronic pain, and I just noticed if I had that, even that one sparkling, I would get more pain from that. So I just gave it up. And to be honest, it's been one of the best decisions. It really has. I just think Australians rely way too much on booze.
Well, it's very interesting.
I think there's also a lot of really good zero alcohols out there. So
it's very interesting because
on occasion, if a friend comes around and they want to have a drink, they'll bring a bottle and I'll open a maybe and have a glass of zero sparkling, and nobody's none the wiser, are they?
Well, I think it's our generation that really concentrated on the alcohol, because I can tell you the younger people that I hang out with at the moment, they are absolutely not focused on alcohol at all.
Fantastic.
Which is really lovely to see. But
brilliant.
Well, we're going to have to wrap it up there. It's been such an interesting chat with you today.
I hope so.
An incredible conversation with Miss Barbara Kendell, and it's been truly inspiring to hear about your journey from the competitive world of bodybuilding to empowering and motivating women. So thanks a lot, and hopefully we can get you back on the podcast again to maybe speak about one particular topic and concentrate on that. So today was really just to get a good picture of who you are as a person, and so next time we'll delve in a little bit further. So thank you so much.
You're very welcome, Bea. It was an absolute pleasure, and thank you so much for inviting me onto your little podcast. I love it.
Thank you, and have a lovely day.
Darling, have a great day.
See you later. Bye.
Bye.